It has been a long time since a film has made me have just such blind rage. I'll, uh, I'll briefly mention the good things, but the rest is so awful that these things aren't even worth watching. Kaylee Spaney, David Johnson, and are Isabella Merced are so good in it. It is beautifully shot by one of the best directors working in Latin America right now. Galo Oliveras, and the creature at the end is just getting gnarly and nightmarish. Okay, enough of that. As a Evil Dead 2013 lover, the news that Alvarez would be directing an Alien film was obviously pretty huge for me. It easily became the film I was most excited about for a good while, and even when the trailer dropped, I still had some hopes. And then I watched it. I'll just get the glaringly obvious out of the way. The Ian Holm character. I am not marking this shit with a spoiler tag, because if you didn't know about this horrific conclusion, then I'll at least be sparing you the disappointment. How this decision got past anyone, or was even thought of as a legitimately sane idea, is beyond me. The resurrection of a real actor via appalling digital necromancy in the form of a crawling, talking corpse. Ian Holmes' lifeless body severed in half and propped up to be paraded around for fan service without his permission or his knowledge. How can I word this in any other way? It's truly awful. Not just morally, it is easily one of the most evil things I've ever seen in a film of this scale, but visually it's no less embarrassing. Uncanny doesn't even scratch the surface. Truly see it to believe it stuff. A decision that could have been handled umpteen different ways, but just thinking about it infuriates me. This could have been Michael Fassbender's character. Or actually go crazy and have Johnson play both roles. The only reason that this exists is for those who point at the screen and go, "Ooh, I remember that." A true detriment to the industry as a whole. It is a reflection of storytelling used as bright keys dangled in front of a fucking man-child. As film fans, we deserve better. As Alien fans, we deserve better. As creatives, we deserve better. As a casual movie-going enjoyer, or a casual Alien fan, as a person with individuality and thoughts, as a person who should strive for the best, always, you deserve better than this fucking steaming pile of shit. It's all this film's about, really. A series of callbacks and hollow references to its predecessors. Falls into the same vein as the big budget legacy sequel slop that J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson's Star Wars films do, taking the audience on a theme park ride through vapid recreations of images that came before, whilst offering next to nothing below the surface. Romulus works as a elite tier key jangling for people who watched Alien way back when and have come to see the exact same thing all over again. See another Abrams Star Wars comparison for you. At least those films have the decency to look good. Sometimes. Lifeless set pieces that serve zero purpose beyond showing off les epic face huggers, and how awesome and sick the practical effects work supposedly is. For a movie that holds itself in high regard for its use of practical effects, they really don't even function half as well as the ones from the '79 film. You know, a film that's almost 50 fucking years old. Speaking of the original film, Romulus' decision to set itself before the events of the Ridley Scott masterwork is truly bizarre. It feels like a film made for, possibly made by, people who don't get anything out of the Ridley prequels. Every interesting idea that Scott set up with those is ignored or attempted to be improved on. How fucking lame do you have to be to come up with an engineered xenomorph hybrid? Give me a fucking break. Yes, I'm a Ridley Scott Prometheus and Covenant defender. Yes, Covenant overall is just really, it's not a good film, but it at least has some interesting ideas in there. Prometheus, however, I really like that one. But really, all Romulus is simply the destruction of something masterful, reduced to simply, hey, I remember that. It's an MCUification of a once pretty stellar run of films. I'll move to how out of sync this is for an alien. I'll move to how out of sync this is of an alien film. As it was a matter of time for Disney to do to fan service Alien. It isn't really fan service because, well, that would mean a third Ridley Scott prequel. It's more like a fans of slop service. Anyway, I can live with that. One thematically empty film that just rehashes iconic lines and moments from the previous film, so people who pretend to be Alien fans can point their fingers and go goo 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 gaga. I get it. Whatever. But this film is truly about nothing. Starts a setup for a compelling story about immigration, abandons that. A corporate manipulation, barely mentioned. The cons of human playing God, this film makes the opposite of that point. Aliens' consistent underlying theme of abortion, sure, if you really want to cope. It doesn't even bother to be mindless action like Aliens. It builds nothing off of Prometheus, Covenant, or Alien, but of course, it has a Prometheus dimension, and it furthers absolutely nothing from the mythology, and just half of it is a snooze fest. I cannot stress enough how much I fucking hate this. This has now become a franchise, abhorrent term, by the way, about closing doors in time. Not so much a movie as a fetishist catalog of turn-ons in a sense, and creatively bankrupt in ways we somehow haven't encountered before. What I hope is lost on no one is the massive irony that this is an anti-corporate film made by one of the world's largest corporations, one that has no qualms about reanimating a corpse for its own sordid game. It honestly it made me contemplate two previously unthinkable courses of action. Embrace Marxism or rewatch Alien Covenant.